Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to another Healthy Love Night right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to each and every one of you, those tuned in on TuneIn Radio, the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, across the pond, OneHarmonyRadio.com, WGLRO with the Donnie Walker Morning Show, taking you from the sheets to the streets. Big ups to each and every one of you. Glad to have you. Those on PEMGTV.com. Welcome, and of course, if you're tuned in right here at the home of the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew on kevinstew.com, glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and you have my word. I wouldn't even try. Kicking it off with a lyrical. It's called My Heart.
For you, oh, and I have a jam for you. Let me see how much power you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. You look like you belong on a poster, and that's why I'm holding you closer, girl. I really love your body. Can you disrupt me to my heart? And when you whine, girl, you have me balling. Oh yeah. Girl, I say you stop me to my heart. And when you whine, girl, you have me balling. Let me see how much power you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. I grip you tight like a hip to a holster. I just want to hold you closer, girl. I really love your body. Can you disrupt me to my heart? And when you whine, girl, you have me balling. Oh yeah. Girl, I say you stop me to my heart. And when you whine, girl, you have me balling. And when you give me your address so I could come knock you down, 'cause I have a jam for you, oh, and I have a wine for you, oh. You what to do? Wine back on me, and let me see how much wine you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me, and let me see how much power you can give. Can you disrupt me to my heart? And when you wine, girl, you have me balling. Let me see how much power you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. I grip you tight back on me. Let me see how much power you can give.
Want to say thanks to Paul C Media Group.
Let me see how much power.
Thank you for sponsoring this segment of the show.
Let me see how much power you can give.
When being in the moment is priceless, just give them a link.
Let me see how much
Paul C Media Group. PulseEMG.com. 754-999-6020. If you want to do something like you see right here on kevinstew.com, yeah, website with video, streaming live on a secure network, give them a call, tell them that you heard about them right here on the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew, and get the conversation going from there.
Let me see how much power you can give. Grip your time back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. Grip your time back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. Come now, girl, bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. Grip you tight like a hip to a holster. I just want to hold you closer, girl. I really love your body.
The song say what?
Let me see how much power you can give. Bubble back on me. Let me see how much power you can give. Grip you tight like a hip to a holster. I just want to hold you closer, girl.
Tonight on Healthy Love, we're looking at romance and health.
Let me see how much power you can give.
Did you know that August is Romance Awareness Month?
I really love your body. Can you be strong, baby, to my heart? And when you wine, girl, you have me back.
More interestingly, do you know that there are health benefits to romance? You know, they say everything is good for you, but in moderation.
I really love your body. Can you be strong, baby, to my heart? And when you wine, girl, you have me bad.
Once again, this is lyrical. The track is called My Heart.
Baby, to my heart. And when you wine, girl, you have me bad.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
I really love
Numbers to call, numbers to text to get you in touch. 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, and of course you can jump into the stew pot. Others call it a chat room. We're fancy over here on kevinstew.com. We have the stew pot. Jump on in. It's where we keep things bubbling. Yeah? Cool. So, we're talking about romance and health. And, you know, everybody know that February is love month. But I don't think many of us know of August being Romance Awareness Month. Why in two different months, you may ask? Well, you know, romance isn't necessarily related to love, and love isn't necessarily related to romance. But they both have health benefits. And tonight we're going to be looking at some health benefits of romance. You down? I am down. So I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get your feedback. I'd love to get your input. So use up the mediums. Use up the text. Use up the phone calls. Use up the jump in the chat room in the stew pot. And add a little bit of ingredients. Yeah? That's how we get the pot bubbling. How we make the pot nice. So, go ahead. Let's ignore the medicine cabinet. Romantic relationships could actually be a ticket to good health. That could be all you need. But is Cupid's bow a double-edged sword? So, when you're looking at this love and health thing, from long-term relationships to casual encounters, marriage to heartbreak, you can see how it affects the health. Now, love in and of itself isn't about the butterflies. That comes from eating too many caterpillars. Yeah, that's why you get the butterflies in your stomach. You eat too many caterpillars. Stop. Chill. Take a diet. Have a diet. Go on a diet. There are chemical processes in the brain that affect how we feel. When we're with a significant other, the body releases hormones like oxytocin and dopamine. And that signals feelings of trust and pleasure and reward. And, you know, we like those feelings. And all that happens in the brain may be good for the heart. Literally. In one study, researchers found people's blood pressure was lower when they were with a romantic partner than when they were interacting with anyone else. So it may be good to find yourself a romantic partner in some way, shape, or form. And try not to be fighting when you check your blood pressure when you're with this person. But scientists suggest the blood pressure lowers in these situations because romantic partners feel familiar and comfortable with each other. Makes sense. Yet, even new relationships have their advantages. Researchers discovered fresh love may shield against stress. Yeah, it takes you back, doesn't it? For those who are in their relationships for a very long time and the honeymoon phase has gone, you remember that feeling during that honeymoon phase? If you're in a relationship for a long time and you're still living through the honeymoon phase, go ahead, use up the numbers 773-789 Stu. Tell us your secret and tell us how your health is. Because these are things that collectively we should know. And we're all about sharing with each other here. So let's go ahead and get on that. Let's share what works for us. Because it just might work for somebody else. And in doing so, you just might be the person to save someone's life. See? Sharing is caring. Now, in most cases, love and wellness tend to go hand in hand. But you need to be aware. People in unsupportive and harmful relationships are at greater risk for developing heart problems, depression, and a weaker immune system. And with any relationship comes the risk of heartbreak, which just happens to be a real thing. And it really does hurt. And scientists uncovered neurological similarities between feelings of social rejection and physical pain. They're quite similar. And it may not be a good idea to get hitched too soon, to go and jump that broom, break the glass, do the I do's, When researchers looked at marriage among couples up to 26 years old, they found a link between tying the knot and a higher body mass index. And, sorry, gentlemen, early marriage was also associated with an increased rate of depression in African American men and smoking in white men. It could be their spouses were housewives. It could be just that they had not yet learned how to communicate effectively and be authentic in their communications with their partners. Because, some of these things you don't learn till later on in life when you've had certain life experiences and come across certain things. If you happen to have learned it early in life, then great. Run with that. And even so, share that with somebody. Again, for me, it's all about sharing with individuals that are in our circles at whichever point in our lives. So, there are some tips to take advantage of the potential benefits of Cupid going around and being a marksman. And these give us other reasons to thank a loved one for Valentine's. And is there a romance day outside of, Valentine's is your love day? Is there a romance day? In August, you have romance awareness. It's Romance Awareness Month. Is there a romance day? I didn't come across that. Could somebody quickly look that up and just, if there's a date, just either text it to me, 773-789-STEW, or put it in the stew pot. Is there a romance day? Alright, so some tips that can help us to have this romance that will lead to better health. Write a love letter. I must admit, I haven't done one of these in forever. And maybe it's time to do another one. Write a love letter. Don't text. No. Get personal. Write, pen to paper. You still know how to do that, right? Cool. Write a love letter. One study found writing love letters can reduce cholesterol. Signed, sealed, delivers. It benefits both parties. Hold a hand. Again, on social media, you cannot hold hands. You can do the fake wave, which is just a picture which has one assume that is waving. It could be trembling, but they say it's a wave. But grab a hand. Holding hands with a significant other can reduce stress more than holding a stranger's hand. And typically holding a stranger's hand can be kind of weird. But hold a significant other's hand. You know, when the Beatles did the song, I wanna hold your hand. It was a time when we were more loving. Well, they said it was a more loving time. I don't know. Not too sure. I guess when you think about it. Yeah, you didn't have 252 mass shootings in 8 months. But yeah, go ahead, hold somebody's hand. Hold someone that is close to you, significant to you. Hold their hand. And just be present in that moment. And hug. Listen, I have been told that I have one of the most amazing hugs. And every time I get told that, I feel so good. So apparently my hugs are beneficial not only to me, but to whomever it is that is receiving it. Yeah, next time you see me, come hug me. And then you can form your own opinion. But there's power in a good hug. Frequent hugging between lovers is linked to high oxytocin levels. You know what oxytocin is, right? That's a love hormone. So when you hug someone, the love hormones flow and you feel that little bit of connection. It's just that little bit more. But in some women, it also lowers blood pressure. So in my house, you find people with low blood pressure. Yeah, there's a lot of hugging in my house. Another tip for you, and more people than not would probably like this one. Go ahead, get down, get dirty. Yeah, I'm not saying go out in the garden and start. No. Get down and dirty. Yeah. Hop on the good foot and do the bad thing. You know what I mean? It's no secret. Sex can reduce stress. So remember to fit in some quality time between the sheets to feel good in more ways than one. And when you're doing this, also remember diet is also important, and there are some foods that you can have that improve your libido. So, do your little research, find what works for you, and indulge in some of that. Or if you need to, invest in some of that. And if you can, go ahead, get your calendars together, and schedule some workout time, some outside of outside of the bed. Well, sex doesn't necessarily have to happen in bed, but you know what I mean. So, outside of sex, do physical workout, do the exercising together. Studies suggest married pairs frequent the gym more often, that frequent the gym more often, are likely to call it quits when they go and well, they're less likely to call it quits when they go to the gym together than when they go separately. So do the power couple thing. Sweat it out in the gym together. Because in doing so, you're still boosting some endorphins along the way. So you break a sweat together in the gym, go home, take a nice shower together, break a sweat there too, get out the shower, break another sweat. Nobody says that there has to be limits. Whatever and however it works for you, go ahead and do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is. Yeah, just do it. Find out how it is that your relationship is benefiting your health. Whichever one of your relationships it is. And go ahead and reap the benefits of that relationship. Now, again, the closer you are, the better you are. Emotionally and physically. And if there needs to be a different way that you have to relate to your partner or partners, whichever way it is for you, then you do so. But remember, you want to do things that limit stress. So you want your communication to be 1, open, 2, authentic, and 3, constant. Get that going, and everything else should just fall into place. When you check it out, and this is just a little side note by me before we jump into our first break. Those that communicate effectively often are the ones that build strong, secure relationships. You check it out. And we've talked about this on the show before. And of course, we'll continue to talk about it. Which one of the ideas is a great idea, 312? So keep the lines of communication open. Let the traffic flow frequently. And let it be authentic. And you'll reap benefits on top of benefits on top of benefits, because you can't help but reap benefits from good things. Love is a good thing. And what we're realizing is that romance with love is even a better thing. So if you get in romance by itself, well, that's what it is. Oh, everything. They're all great ideas. Okay, cool. I feel better now. I feel much better. And you see, these are the things. So you see, this right here, this interaction right here. As long as you're not just telling me something to make me feel good, and you're legit with it, that makes me feel good. That you're contributing to my health right there. For those that are just tuning in, welcome to Healthy Love. This is the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Kevin Stew, that's me. And we're going to take a break. Tonight we're talking about romance and health. August is Romance Awareness Month. Be aware of your romances. Or your romancing. And see how your health is affected by it. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. Again, it's a night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. We'll be right back. Call a friend, tell a friend, drag somebody in. Tell them, come on. This will only benefit you. You have nothing to lose. Alright. Be right back.
Quality Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. a new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
Retro Movement Marketing presents Where It's At.
Where It's At.
The biggest 70s dress theme party in South Florida. Where It's At.
Where It's At.
The annual 70s theme reunion.
Where It's At, baby.
Party starts from 8 p.m. until 3 a.m. Saturday, August 24th at Sawgrass Inn, 1711 North University Drive in Plantation. With music by The Veteran, Clem Wayne from New York City, Mark Swaby from Florida, and hosted by Mr. Flavors.
I am Mr. Flavors, inviting you to the big dance party Where It's At.
Come do the line dance with the Icon Maxi Class. Dress code is 70s style with a $500 cash prize for the best costume. Belfoot pads, big collar shirts, hats, afro, and more. Saturday, August 24th at the Sawgrass Inn, Plantation. Pre-sold tickets are $25. Purchase tickets in Miramar at Sam's West Indian Store. In Miami at Kingston Delight. And Tropical Oasis. In Fort Lauderdale at Rainbow Variety Store. And Mama's Kitchen. In Coral Springs at Reggae and Things. And in West Palm Beach at Caribbean Choice Restaurant. For more info, call 786-295-3619.
Where It's At, baby.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. Just want to remind everybody, coming up on August 24th, Saturday, August 24th, Coal Fire Restaurant and Catering presents the their Coal Fire brunch. And this is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's at 410 North Andrews Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. zip code 33311. They'll have bottomless passion fruit, Caribbean twist mimosas, and Caribbean style buffet done the coal fire way. Just $30. Come on in, enjoy a full meal, and the fun, the camaraderie, it's just a good time. I was there last month. In fact, I played some music for them last month. Not last month, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Well, that was last month, wasn't it? So come on over to Coal Fire, the location of Coal Fire Restaurant and Catering. The restaurant hasn't opened yet. They're just doing these brunches as a means to get people familiar with the location before construction starts. So it's kind of like a pop-up brunch, but it's at the location where the restaurant is going to be. Come on down. It's a great experience. If I say so myself, come on down for the experience. Once again, it's the night shift. Welcome back. Kicking it off this segment. Oh, I didn't even give you this. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start off this segment with a little Tammy T. Right? There I am. Her rendition of Kiss Me. I want to say thanks to Althea and her healing heavenly hands for sponsoring this segment of the show. Althea is a licensed massage therapist that comes to you. You're in Broward County, North Miami-Dade, South Palm Beach County. Let's go ahead and give her a call. She brings her table, her oils, and her healing heavenly hands. Give her a call, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. Or just email her, paylater@att.net. That's THEALATER @att.net. Thank you, Althea, for sponsoring this segment of the show. So, it's hey, listen. When talking about being in the best possible mood for romance, it may mean that you need to get an orgasm. I'm sorry, not an orgasm, a massage. Oh, where it truly was a Freudian slip. But that's just actually where we're going next, because typically you talk about romances and romancing, and that is where the mind goes to. It goes to that moment where you have that euphoric bliss by means of that climatic end. You know, the happy ending. If my yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. But it's really interesting from a health perspective, from a scientific perspective, when it comes to orgasms and the benefits of them. Not many people actually are aware that they come with benefits. No pun intended. But yeah, there are benefits to orgasms. The orgasm itself is regarded as the peak of sexual excitement. It's a powerful feeling of physical pleasure and sensation, which includes a discharge of accumulated erotic tension. That in and of itself could only be helpful. So let's look at what we need to know about orgasms. Typically, we just know that we have them and we feel great. But overall, not a great deal is known about the big O, the orgasm in and of itself. And over the past century, theories about the orgasm and its nature have shifted dramatically. Healthcare experts, for example, have only relatively recently come around to the idea of the female orgasm, with many doctors as recently as the 1970s claiming that it was normal for women to not experience them. Now, in 2019, we know differently. And what we're going to do for the next few minutes is try to explain what an orgasm in men and women, what it is in men and women, and why it happens, and explain some of the common misconceptions to it. So I know some people grabbing a fresh sheet of paper to write on, just to make sure to clear everybody's mind. First, because they want to take separate notes. So some people, and I give you some time to grab that sheet of paper. Okay, time up. So here are some facts when it relates to orgasms. They have multiple potential health benefits due to the hormone and other chemicals that are released by the body. Orgasms do not occur during sexual stimulation. Huh? Believe it or not. We gotta get into it. People of all genders can experience orgasm disorders. Yeah, I know some people are going, wait a minute, aren't there only two genders? Just go with it. Just go with it. An estimated 1 in 3 men have experienced premature ejaculation. It's not that rare. Trans people are able to orgasm after gender reassignment surgery. Don't think that it goes away and you lose all sensation and all that. No. Medical professionals and mental health professionals define orgasms differently. So, question 1. Main question, first question, biggest question of all. What is an orgasm? they can be defined in different ways using different criteria. Medical professionals have used philosophic, the physiological changes to the body is what medical professionals use when describing what an orgasm is. So they look at the physical changes to the body as a basis for their definition. And psychologists and mental health professionals have used emotional and cognitive changes. A single overarching explanation for orgasms doesn't currently exist. So if you're a medical professional, you're going from the physiological changes to the body. If you're a mental professional, you're looking at cognitive and emotional changes. Now, Alfred Kinsey's Sexual Behavior in the Human Male in 1948 and Sexual Behavior in Human Female in 1953 sought to build an objectively determined body of fact and sex through the use of in-depth interviews challenging currently held views about sex. The spirit of his work was taken forward by William H. Masters and Virginia Johnson in their work in Human Sexual Response in 1986, a real-time observational study of the physiological effects of various sexual acts. Now, this research led to the establishment of sexology as a discipline, and it is still an important part of today's theories on orgasms. Sex researchers have defined orgasms with staged models of sexual response. Now, although the orgasm process can differ greatly between individuals, several basic physiological changes have been identified, and that these tend to occur in the majority of incidences. So, the following models are patterns that have been found to occur in the forms of sexual response and are not limited solely to penile vaginal intercourse. So pay attention. This is where most of us tend to get it wrong. Master and Johnson's four-phase model says there's 1, excitement, 2, the plateau, 3, the orgasm, and 4, the resolution. Kaplan's 3-stage model differs from most other sexual response models, as it includes desire. Now, other models don't. Most models tend to avoid including non-genital changes. It is also important to recognize that not all sexual activity is preceded by desire. So with Kaplan's model, you have 1, desire, 2, excitement, and then 3, the orgasm. So, are there any health benefits to it? Well, a cohort study published in 1997 suggested that the risk of mortality was considerably lower in men with a high frequency of orgasms than men with a low frequency of orgasms. This is counter to the view in many cultures worldwide that the pleasure of the orgasm is secured at the cost of vigor and well-being. Now, whoever it was that thought that was the case, the latter, I don't know what it was that brought them to that conclusion. I'd love to see the studies and the results of those studies that made them think that. There is some evidence that frequent ejaculation might reduce the risk of prostate cancer. And a team of researchers found that the risk for prostate cancer was 20% lower in men who ejaculated at least 21 times a month compared with men who ejaculated just 4 to 7 times a month. So, ejaculation is important for men to maintain the health of their prostates. So, gentlemen, get on it. By whichever means necessary, get on it at least 21 times. If you have partners, bring your partners up to speed, because you want to, I'm pretty sure they want to keep you around for a long time. So they need to do what they need to do. Several hormones that are released during orgasm have been identified. You have oxytocin, you have DHEA, and some studies suggest that these hormones could have protective qualities against cancers and heart disease. Oxytocin and other endorphins released during male and female orgasms have been found to work as relaxants. You know, we have the massage to relax you, and then you have the massage that caused the relaxation. You know what I mean? Cool. I wouldn't suggest you try to ask Althea for one of the happy ending massages, because that's not the one that she has practiced. I've had her massages. That's not the one that she practices. Just for clarity. So, unsurprisingly, given that experts are yet to come to a consensus regarding the definition of an orgasm, there are multiple forms of categorization for orgasms. The psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud distinguished female orgasms as clitoral in the young and immature, and vaginal in those with a healthy sexual response. In contrast, the sex researcher Betty Dodson has defined at least 9 different forms of orgasm, biased towards genital stimulation based on her research. And I'm going to give you a few of them. There's a combination or blended orgasm. And this is a variety of different orgasmic experiences blended together. Then you have your multiple orgasms, which is a series of orgasms over a short period rather than a singular one. Not many people experience those, or that do, often rave about it. You have your pressure orgasms, which are the ones that arise from indirect stimulation of applied pressure, a form of self-stimulation that is more common in children. We've touched on this before on previous shows. Then you have your relaxation orgasms, which is derived from deep relaxation during sexual stimulation. Then you have your tension-related orgasms, and this is a common form from direct stimulation, often when the body and muscles are tense. Now, there are other forms of orgasms that Freud and Dodson largely discount, but many others have described them. And these would be your fantasy orgasms, resulting from mental stimulation alone. There are some people that have been able to achieve this. Now, that I'm sure comes with getting in touch with self on a whole different level. And you have your G-spot orgasms, which result from the stimulation of an erotic zone during penetrative intercourse, feeling markedly different to orgasms of other kinds of stimulation. So, in communicating with your partners, ladies, you want to share what it is like when you have that experience, what it is. And again, this is where communication is important. You have to be able to communicate openly and frequently, as long as authentically, as well as, I should say, authentically, because this combination helps to enhance each and every experience, whether it is sexual or not. These enhance your interaction, so they enhance your overall experience. Now, as it relates to the female orgasm, there is a description of the physiological process of the female orgasm in the genitals. We'll use the Masters and Johnson's 4-phase model. So let's go through it. You have your excitement phase. And in this, you have the woman is stimulated physically or psychologically. The blood vessels within her genitals dilate. You have increased blood supply, which causes the vulva to swell, and fluid to pass through the vaginal walls, making the vulva swollen and wet. Internally, the top of the vagina expands. Now, your heart rate and breathing quickens and blood pressure increases. Blood vessel dilation can lead to the woman appearing flushed, and particularly on the neck and chest. If you're of a complexion where that shows, then you'll see that. Then you have the plateau. And with the plateau, blood flow to the introitus, which is the lower area of the vagina, reaches its limit. It becomes firm. Breasts can increase in size as much as 25%. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, it could increase in size as much as 25%, and increased blood flow to the areola. I always had trouble with that word. Never had trouble finding it though. That's the area that surrounds the nipple. And it causes the nipples to appear erect. The clitoris pulls back against the pubic bone, seemingly disappearing. So that happens in the plateau phase. Then you have the orgasm phase, and the genital muscles, including the uterus and introitus, experience rhythmic contractions around 0.8 seconds apart. The female orgasm typically lasts longer than the male at an average of around 13 to 51 seconds. Now, unlike men, most women do not have a refractory or a recovery period, and can by way of this, they can have further orgasms if they are stimulated again. Then you have the resolution phase, where the body gradually returns to its former state with swelling, reduction, and slowing of the pulse and breathing. So that walks you through the female orgasm. Now, with the male orgasm, looking at the physiological process of male orgasms in the genitals, we're going to use also the Masters and Johnson's 4-phase model. You have excitement. And this is when a man is stimulated physically or psychologically. It happens with both genders. Blood flows into the corpora, which is the spongy tissue running the length of the penis. And this causes the penis to grow in size and become rigid. Hence the erection. The testicles are drawn up towards the body as the scrotum tightens. Then you have the plateau. And here, As blood vessels in and around the penis fill with blood, the glands and testicles increase in size. In addition, thigh and buttocks muscles tense, blood pressure rises, the pulse quickens, and the rate of breathing increases. Then you have the orgasm. Semen, which is a mixture of sperm, about 5% of it is sperm, and 95% is fluid. The semen is forced into the urethra by a series of contractions in the pelvic floor muscles, the prostate gland, seminal vesicles, and the vas deferens. Hence, why the prostate is said to benefit from ejaculation, because all of these things happen, and it does include the prostate. Now, contractions in the pelvic floor and prostate gland also cause the semen to be forced out of the penis in a process called ejaculation. The average male orgasm lasts for about 10 to 30 seconds. Nothing compared to the female orgasm, which is 13 to 51 seconds on average. Then you get to the resolution phase. And this is now where the man enters a temporary recovery phase, where further orgasms are not possible. This is known as the refractory period, and its length varies from person to person. It can last from a few minutes to actually a few days. And this period generally grows longer as men age. So, ladies, be mindful of this and be receptive to it in communication. Okay? Now, during this phase, the man's penis and testicles will return to their original size. The rate of breathing will be heavy and fast, and the pulse will also be fast, which is slightly different from what happens with the women. So, what then causes this? It is commonly held that orgasms are a sexual experience, typically experienced as part of a sexual response cycle. They often occur following the continual stimulation of erogenous zones, such as the genitals, the anus, the nipples, and the perineum. Physiologically, orgasms occur following two basic responses to continual stimulation. Vasocongestion, the process whereby body tissues fill up with blood, swelling in size as a result, and myotonia. This is the process where muscles tense, including both voluntary flexing and involuntary contracting. And there have been other reports of people experiencing orgasmic sensations at the onset of epileptic medicine, and foot amputees feeling orgasms in the space where their foot once was. People paralyzed from the waist down have also been able to have orgasms, suggesting that it is the central nervous system rather than the genitals that is key to experiencing orgasms. I once had a guest who, after going through a series of bouts where she literally died, if you remember. She literally died for a few minutes, and when she came back, she was paralyzed, first from the neck down, and she slowly regained the use of her limbs. And one of the last stages before she began therapy with learning to walk again, her doctor had suggested to her husband that he actually have sex with her, and that the stimulation could be helpful. And here it is again coming back, where stimulation is a part of, where orgasms is said to be a part of a reaction in the central, or stimulation of the central nervous system rather than the genitals. We couldn't figure it out then, really, but with a little bit more research, this was the conclusion that I came to after that discussion with her, and here it is being reinforced right now. Here's what we're going to do. I gave you a lot of information just now. We have some more. We're going to look at some disorders as it relates to orgasms. We're just going to take a quick little break, give you a little breather, and then we come back and we talk some more to close out this night shift. Okay? Alright, so hold on. We'll be right back. It would be good if I turned on these things, right? Yeah, I think so too. When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
I'm in almost every school bus in class. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger.
Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help.
Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me. We are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, The Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with The Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy P, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Amberleek, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Seal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine to representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Real cold, cold, cold. Yeah, yeah. Listen. Still is the life of your room when you're not inside. Yeah. And all of your things tell the sweetest storyline, yeah. Your tears on these sheets, baby, and your footsteps are down the hall, yeah. So tell me what I did. I can't find the moment where we went wrong at all. No, 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 no. You can be mad in the morning, oh baby, won't sleep through this. I'll survive on the breath you are finished with, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. And you can demand in the morning, oh girl, I'll take back what I said. Oh yes, I will. Just don't leave me. It's cold, baby. It's cold. So come back to bed.
The sound of Gramps Morgan.
Come back to bed.
That's the title of the track.
So come back to bed. I'm missing you, baby. Just come back to bed. Oh, it's getting real cold.
I want to go ahead and make special mention of this month's featured item or featured pieces, featured set, courtesy of Jillian J. This black, green, and gold beaded necklace, earring, and bracelet set, which can be worn individually or mixed and matched or as a complete set. You have the necklace, you have the earrings, you have the bracelet. Give them at Jillian J a call, 954-281-2587. They have this, they have customized pieces. Yeah, when it gets customized, it's what you want, what you ask for. You can talk to them about it. Jillian J also provides personal styling. So give them a call, 954-281-2587. Tell Julie Kevin Stew sent you. You can email at jmarie@jillianj.com. That's jmarie@gillian-j.com. Get your pieces, because listen, they're not gonna last forever. Also want to thank JTMC for sponsoring this segment of the show. JTMC takes care of your tour management, your bookings, your promotions, your event management, your social media management. Just give them a call, 678-793-8800, or visit them at jtmcenterprise.com. Of course, you know the deal. Call my name. So, believe it or not, like it or not, there are some disorders that are associated with orgasms. And like most disorders, they can lead to distress, frustration, and feelings of shame, both for the person experiencing the symptoms and for their partners. Now, although orgasms are considered to be the same in all genders, healthcare professionals tend to describe orgasm disorders in gendered terms. So you have your female orgasmic disorders, and these are centered around the absence of significant delay of orgasm following sufficient stimulation. You know, you'd expect one to get there at some point, but when you're left just out in the cold, you know, that can be trying. The absence of having orgasm is also referred to anorgasmia. This term can be divided into primary anorgasmia, when a woman has never experienced an orgasm, and secondary anorgasmia, when a woman who previously experienced orgasms no longer can. And the condition can be limited to certain situations or generally occur. Female orgasmic disorders can occur as a result of physical causes, such as gynecological issues or the use of certain medications. Or it could be psychological causes, things like anxiety and depression. Now, with male orgasmic disorders, also referred to as inhibited male orgasms, it involves persistent and recurrent delay or absence of orgasms following sufficient stimulation. Male orgasmic disorders can be a lifelong condition or one that is acquired after a period of regular sexual functioning. Now, this condition can be limited to certain situations and can generally occur. It can occur as a result of other physical conditions such as heart disease, psychological causes such as anxiety, or through the use of certain medications such as antidepressants. Now, I'm going to take an antidepressant to make me feel good and then won't be able to have an orgasm. What is that going to cause? Right, the need for more antidepressants. Premature ejaculation, is one of the conditions that is a common sexual complaint. And this happens where a man ejaculates and typically orgasms within 1 minute of penetration. And this includes the moment of penetration itself. Premature ejaculation is likely to be caused by a combination of psychological factors such as guilt or anxiety, and biological factors such as hormone levels or nerve damage. Now, the high importance that society places on sex, combined with our incomplete knowledge of orgasms, has led to a number of common misconceptions. Sexual culture has placed the orgasm on a pedestal, often prizing it as the one and only goal for sexual encounters. However, orgasms are not as simple and as common as people would like to suggest. It is estimated that around 10 to 15% of women have never had an orgasm. In men, as many as 1 in 3 report having experienced premature ejaculation at some point in their lives. Research has shown that orgasms are also not widely considered to be the most important aspect of sexual experiences. One study reported that many women find their most satisfying sexual experience involve a feeling of being connected to someone else, rather than basing their satisfaction solely on orgasms, which means the connection doesn't have to be sexual. Another misconception is that penile vaginal stimulation is the main way for both men and women to achieve an orgasm. Now, while this may be true for many men and some women, many more women experience orgasms following the stimulation of the clitoris. Now, a comprehensive analysis of 33 studies over 80 years found that during vaginal intercourse, just 25% of women consistently experience an orgasm. About half of women sometimes have an orgasm, and 20% seldom or ever have orgasms. And about 5% never, ever have orgasms. In fact, orgasms do not necessarily have to involve the genitals at all, nor do they have to be associated with sexual desires, as evidenced by examples of exercise-induced orgasms. Another common misconception is that transgender people are unable to achieve an orgasm after gender reassignment surgery. A 2005 study of transgender people who had undergone sex reassignment surgery found that all of the transgender men and 85% of transgender women were still able to orgasm. Another study in 2014 showed that 82.4% of the transgender women who participated could climax after surgery. A further 55.8% of those also reported that they experienced more intense orgasm post procedure. The journey to an orgasm is a very individual experience that has no singular, all-encompassing definition. In many cases, experts recommend avoiding comparison to other people or pre-existing concepts of what an orgasm should be. Erase everything that you were told until you have your own experience. Now, some very interesting things could also happen as a result of an orgasm. And I'm going to quickly go through those. There's no rule or scientific norm for how, when, how long, how often people have an orgasm for. So when it comes to how different other people's orgasms are to yours as an individual, you may actually be very surprised. But there are some things that tend to happen to individuals, and some of them are noted here. I'm going to go through a few of them. One of them is seeing colors. Now, if this has happened to you, you would be able to relate. If not, take note. These are some of the things that happen. One individual said, my first time having an orgasm resulted in some of the most beautiful mandala-like patterns of bright colors to writhe throughout my body. It felt upon reaching climax that I had shrunken into a tiny atom where color and pattern were the only things to exist. This is Rhiannon Walsh. And this was what she had written for a magazine. And Walsh has synesthesia, which is a neurological condition where people experience sensations like tasting or hearing color. I'll say that again. Synesthesia or synesthesia, depending on how you term it. Am I the only one hearing sounds? I'm hearing music and I'm not playing any. That's weird. All right. But yeah. Synesthesia or synesthesia is it's SYNAETHESIA for clarity. It's an experience where you have sensations like tasting, sound, or hearing color. Now, in Walsh's case, she said she saw greater fireworks and sparkling hues the closer she was to the person that she was having sex with. And when she went at it alone, she was lucky to see watered down blues and greens. A German study found that people with synesthesia synesthesia. It's such a difficult word to say. I've been trying to say this word for a few days now. Were also more likely to go into a trance during sex, while other synesthetists say the intensity of the colors they see increases with the state of arousal. One person described seeing fog transformed into a wall which burst into ring-like structures in bluish violet tones when they had their orgasms. Listen, I'm not making this stuff up, and this is why I do research. Another thing is pain relief. The oxytocin released during orgasm can sometimes help with pain relief, including arthritis, post-surgery pain, or even childbirth pain. Oxytocin facilitates bonding, relaxation, and other positive emotional states, said Lisa Stern. And Lisa is a nurse practitioner with Planned Parenthood. Typically, pain relief is short-lived. It lasts for just 8 to 10 minutes. But I think that's 8 to 10 minutes worth of pain relief. Good pain relief. Another condition is actually not being able to hear. So it's possible to go deaf after an orgasm. Some people lose their hearing for 2 to 10 minutes after an orgasm, accompanied often by some ringing in their ears. Sounds crazy, right? It's true. There have been no studies on this point, but one doctor hypothesized that the sudden decrease in heart rate and blood pressure can cause sudden pressure changes in the middle ear and reduce blood flow to the inner ear. Also, during sex and orgasm, some parts of the brain are switched on and others switched off. And these include the temporal lobe, which covers hearing and sensory association. Finally, he argued that a release of chemical endorphins could also affect neurotransmitters in the brain, causing a change in auditory perception. So it can cause you to lose your hearing. Hallucinations and a sensation of flying is also something that happens. Many women in a small survey from Turkey reported they felt a sensation of flying or a feeling of leaving their bodies. Ooh. That is a sensation worth noting. 24% of those studied also said they felt a sense of entering a cartoon world where they are when they orgasmed. One man who was in a very relaxed state to start off with said that he saw the woman touching him as a purple blue energy being and energy circulating between both our bodies. So these are not things that only women experience, just to let you know. One very interesting thing that could happen when it relates to orgasms is sneezing. Yeah, you heard me right. Sneezing. You may have heard the rumors that sneezing is a tenth of an orgasm. It's actually not true. But it is less likely that you've heard about people who sneeze after having orgasms. Doctors are not totally sure why it happens, but they suspect such people have a faulty connection in their autonomic nervous system, where heart rate, digestion, and pupil dilation are controlled. One man alerted these doctors that he even got uncontrollable fits of sneezing just thinking about sex. But the situation isn't that uncommon. A large Swedish study found that 25% of people sneeze in response to bright light, and it seems the phenomena is genetically inherited. So, if you're an orgasmic sneezer, chances are one of your parents or both your parents were also orgasmic sneezers. And there's also crying. Now, crying after an orgasm is a fair bit more common than any of the other situations that I had already mentioned. Others feel sad or become a bit depressed or anxious. Now, where such reactions are not directly related to the person's state of mind, it can be that the rush of oxytocin from the orgasm causes a few happy tears. On the other hand, many people have postcoital dysphoria, PCD, which is more common in women. An Australian study of female university students found that 46% of them had PCD at some point. The authors of that study asserted that people with more fragile self-esteem were more likely to get PCD, but that is also probably related to a genetic component. Sex therapist Denise Knowles stressed that PCD doesn't have to mean that you're going through something sinister or something traumatic or regretful. Rather, she said that orgasms bring out a lot of feel-good bonding hormones like endorphins, oxytocin, and prolactin. And while these hormones drop after the peak, a sense of sadness can follow. Lastly, but by no means least, one not so happy side effect that scientists really don't totally understand why some people have on it is an epileptic attack and seizures immediately after orgasms. Now, personally, if I were to experience that, I wouldn't know what to do with myself, and I would probably not want to have any further pleasurable experience with that partner. But they say not to worry, because it isn't very common. It is known as orgasmoepilepsy. Orgasmolepsy. I was leaving out a few letters and tossing in a few. It's orgasmolepsy. There's an S before the P and after the P. It is orgasmolepsy. And hence you can see the difficulty. It's a tongue twister. Curse you scientists for creating this word. But this condition is often reported in people with other sleep-wake disorders. One male who had it reported that it only happened to him while in a relationship involving a lot of emotional commitment and trust. So, if you are one if you've had any interesting effects during orgasms, or you don't know other people who have, or if you know people who have, again, authentic communication is a good thing. It teaches us, it exposes us, it broadens the mind, it enlightens us. And that's the basis for, in my opinion, to have growth. You if you're not learning, then you're stagnant, you're dead. So take the time out to learn something. Listen to someone that is going through something. Listen to someone that has gone through something. Share your experience, share with each other. And definitely share with your partner authentically and openly. Yeah? Because you have absolutely, positively nothing to lose by doing so.
Has run again, yeah. For the ladies. Hey, scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. And if you love this, I wanna ball forward.
I want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show. This is where we get into our musical therapy.
Say go, Hezzy, go, Hezzy, go. Listen to my argument. Hey, I could have write you letters, that wouldn't do it. Sex on the phone, still wouldn't cut it. I'd rather have you here on the one-on-one. Girl, I'm tired of waiting for so long. Hurry up, baby, come on, yeah. Cause this feeling is sizzling, and I'm dying for you to get here to tell ya. Take your clothes off, baby, just take your clothes and turn the lights down. Baby, just turn it, and let me close the door. Cause tonight, babe, I'm gonna take you places you never been before. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. And if you love this, I wanna ball forward. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. I know you're at the sexy lady scream. Hey, scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. Well, if you love it, then I say go, Hezzy, go, Hezzy, go. Listen to my argument. Hey, babe, I got it all sorted out. The SOP and a C. Got the Remy and Bacardi. And plus, me don't get the thing from the bunker man delivery already. Boy, baby, tonight it's gonna be crazy, baby, in ecstasy. So hurry, please, let's get busy. All I wanna say, babe, when you get here, babe, take your clothes off, set them up, baby, and turn the lights down. Ooh, baby, and let me close the door. Cause tonight, babe, I'm gonna take you places you never been before. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. And if you love this, I wanna ball forward. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. I know you're at the sexy ladies scream you. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. Well, if you love it, then I say go, Hezzy, go, Hezzy, go. Oh, yeah. Take your clothes off, scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba, and turn the lights down. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba, and let me close the door. Scabba-dibby-o, scabba-dabba. 'Cause tonight, baby, I'm gonna take you places you never been. Take your clothes off, ooh, and turn the lights down low. Let me close the door. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause tonight, baby, I'm gonna take you.
Looking at the beautiful sunshine, and disappointing thoughts of you cloud my mind.
This is brand new music from the Twiggerific one. This is Twiggy. It's called Incapable.
Were you so unkind? So glad I didn't give you my love. Give you so much. So glad I didn't give you my touch. It never ever crossed my mind. But glad you showed me the sign was you're incapable of love. just the sun. You are finding me when I'm down. So glad I didn't give you my love. Every year's gone by. So glad I didn't give you my good and love. It never ever crossed my mind. So glad you showed me the sign of your. I said your. Disappointing thoughts of you cloud my mind. Never liked your treatment the last time. I never understand why were you so unkind. So glad I didn't give you my love. So glad I didn't give you my good night. It never ever crossed my mind.
And everybody in for the night. Me need some company to make the mood feel right. Someone to squeeze up tight.
This is King Charles.
Nice empress when look good in her dress and what's yours is mine.
The title track from the compilation, Still Searching.
There's no contest, but until then, I'm still searching for true love. Someone who's sent from above. And down, come make me take a shot, choose Spanish town. Me are the king, so I you to wait the second crown. Me I go pick your way up and when I come down, hey. Because I you me like, and me I sit down and I pray to make you be wife. So do me right and make sure you be right. And me I tell you how me feel on a Tuesday night.
I tell you how I feel on a healthy love night, yeah?
Someone who's sent from above. Some company for make the mood feel right. Someone for squeeze up tight, yeah. Need a nice empress, so look good in her dress. And what's yours is mine. Me give you all access. Come make we take a ride. Come make we drive out west. Are you alone? There's no contest. What until then?
When I'm in your arms, it's like I'm in another world. No, I can't deny this love that I have for you. My baby, my one and only. Nobody's gonna love.
This is Shanika. A track called Like I Do.
Kiss and tenderness, even when you're away. You know I never diss. It's funny how they thought I'd never be around. Thought I'd never hold you down, but baby, me and you forever. When bad man come, we're laughing together. The only one that I need is you. This love. Grow together, but I'm down for you. And you're down for me. Baby, yes, I'm down for you. We are down for each other. Life can't get no better with you. I can see much clearer with you. No better love out there than this, I swear. And anytime you need me, baby, call me. I'll be a genie in a bottle, always pick you up when you're down. Never wanna see you wearing a frown, no, no. Me and you forever. When bad man come, we're laughing together. The only one that I need is you. This love that I give is true. And baby, no one's gonna love you like I do. No, no, never. The haters, they don't wanna see me and you grow together, but I'm down for you. And you're down for me. Baby, yes, I'm down for you. We are down for each other. Life can't get no better with you. I can see much clearer with you. No better love out there than this, I swear. Baby boy, I can't resist your kiss and tenderness. Even when you're away, you know I never this. It's funny how they thought I'd never be around. Thought I'd never hold you down. But baby, me and you forever. When bad man come, we're laughing together. The only one that I need is you. This love that I give is true. And baby, no one's gonna love you like I do. No, no, never. The haters, they don't wanna see me and you grow together. Down for you. Down for you. And anytime you need me, baby, call me. I'll be a genie in a bottle, always pick you up when you're down. Never wanna see you wearing a frown. No, 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 no.
Where you want me for you? I'm so proud to call you my empress. And if all your plans be real, no time at all. I could give you contest. I never want you to know, but I have to confess. Are you and the girl for me? Congo, bongo embrace. Are you and me African queen?
The Congo Bongo man himself. This is Jadon. Track called Congo Bongo Empress. My bad.
She's sophisticated, she well intelligent. And when me give her me money to go a market, no what's if you well spent. Ambition high, down to the earth, in our life. But Empress a thing sky high, spread out your wings and fly. Congo Empress, are you and me African queen? Congo Empress, are you me seeing of a dream? Congo Empress, and now you make me sing. Congo Empress, we are come from far. Yesterday me a look on the skies. Them say we wouldn't reach this far. We wouldn't reach this far. We love you, it's a my duty. And when me look on your face, me have to smile, what a beauty. Congo Empress, are you and me African queen? Congo Empress, are you the scene of a dream? Congo Empress, and now you make me sing. Congo
10 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 minutes before I get out of here. This is the son of Miss Joanna Marie. Track called Bet You Never. From the album Simply Irresistible, Bet You Never.
This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew. I bet you never ever thought it over. I bet you never, no, you never. I bet you never thought I'd go that far. I bet you never thought I'd break your heart. I bet you never thought. Why you need a key when the door ever opens? Yeah.
This is IKEA.
Even if I call, you can pull up when you want to.
It's called Loverholic.
My own excuse, baby, it's expensive. Tonight, straight romance. You like Ricky Tony on mansion. Trying it out the room, cause I need some action. My lips can be divided, let's just do the pressure. All these private places you can put your hands on. The secret spot so we could go and never. My thoughts get me turned on. Never had it, baby, I'm a never had it. Never had it, baby, I ain't scared to say I'm in love with you. Maybe too dangerous for you. Baby, I'm a never had it, never had it.
Yeah, I'm a loverholic also.
Baby, I ain't scared to say
I just love healthy love.
with you. I may be too dangerous.
I also love real talk.
My body may close, I'll be in the parking lot if you
And I invite you all to come and join me tomorrow night for Real Talk. Same time, same place right here. KevinStew.com, 10 p.m. Eastern.
at home. Just leave a note, meet me in the shower. 'Cause I know you'll be pulling up in an hour. So get we're waiting on ya.
I've been soliciting responses to the question.
Baby, I ain't scared to say
Is cheating ever a good thing?
maybe too dangerous for you. Baby, I'm never had it.
We're having that discussion tomorrow night.
Baby, I ain't scared to say that I'm in love with you. I may be too dangerous. I was wasted from all last cause. Got my face down, answer. Blindfold me, baby, put on the cuff. You really know this won't be last time. 'Cause you know I'm addicted to some good love. If we can do another after 2 rounds, baby, let me hit some new notes and let the neighbors say I'm too loud. 'Cause I never had it, baby, I'm a never had it, never had it. Baby, I ain't seen you say maybe too dangerous for you. Baby, I'm never had it, never had it. Baby, I'm never had it. Baby, I ain't scared to say that I'm in love with you. I may be too dangerous. No, never had it. Baby, I'm a never had it, never had it. I'm in love with you. Maybe too dangerous for you. Never had it, never had it, never had it. I'm in love with you. Just wanna love you, baby. Love you now, you know baby. Stayed at home without waiting. Oh, Kevin, so Kevin. Was he just so I started.
This is Annette Brissett.
I know the world look perfect.
A track called Just Want to Love You.
No more pain. Just wanna be loved by you. I don't wanna cause you anything. I just want
Yeah, I don't want to cause you any pain.
time and time again.
Just want to love you. Over and over, time and time again.
Time and time again. I'm so glad you are here, baby, because I really miss the way you kiss upon my lips. Oh, we must agree to disagree. Oh, no more fussing, honey. Let me love you now. From now on, let me love you now. I don't wanna be the cause of no more anything. Come on, let me love you now. Time and time again. I don't wanna be no problem, baby. Anything. From now on, let me love you now. Time and time again.
This is how I bounce on out of here tonight.
Hold me close.
The sound of Ed Robinson.
So all the world can see.
Encouraging to be held close. Encouraging each and everyone to hold somebody close.
Hold together. Yeah, now.
Catch you all tomorrow. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your contribution.
And kiss you. They'll adopt the way I care. If there's a time that I should lose you, there is no reason I should be here.
Again, thanks to GMAC Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show.
So all
GMAC providing,
belong to me.
sound and light stage and stage production services, musicians, engineers, musical equipment, singers, you name it, MCs. Did I say MCs? I think I said MCs. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you.
All I need in this cold old world, every moment spent alone, I need you, girl. We've been close together for oh so long, and every moment that we touch, it's getting strong.
Thank you all. Catch you all later. Take care until then.
Hold me
can see that you belong to me.
I'm out of here.
Hold me close, so all the world can see.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.